when we're finished with a character, I always make a video explaining the workflow. And today I'm gonna show you how we went from this default cube to making the base shape for the character, painting the texture, rigging it, and get the render at the end. Then I'm gonna link you to all of the tutorials I've done for this series. But as always, you can download all the 3D files and real-time process videos of making this character and all of the characters I've done on this channel from my Patreon and Gumroad page. Link in the description. Let's go. First we're gonna start with a block out of the head. As always, we delete the default cube to add another one, bevel it to break the object into few faces. Clear out the middle part, push these parts away and extrude to the back to shape the basic form of the skeleton. I have a fully explained tutorial about this method. I put it in the top right corner if you want to check it out. We add another cube for the neck, add a cylinder for nose and mouth and push the middle to the front. For the cheeks part, we bring a cube, squeeze it down and place it from ear to nose at an angle. Then a squeeze down cube with a loop cut in the middle to be shaped as an ear. Worked more on the base shape of the model to get it closer to the skeleton reference we have on the side. Now that the head is fairly shaped, we can scale it down and bring it up. A trick we can use here is to add a human metal rig to the scene, scale it up and fit it with the head. Now we can use it to adjust the parts of the body according to these bones. Let's add a cube for the chest and add a few loop cuts so we can shape it as the chest and back area. I also made a tutorial about blocking out the full body. You can check it out on the top right corner. We can add a subdivision modifier to smooth things out a bit. We can also add another one for the bottom half and subdivide again. We can add a loop cut to a cube and push the sides upwards. Then use another subdivided cube for the back parts. Then another one for the shoulders. Really important to move the cube in the edit mode so the pivot point stays in the center. That way if we add a mirror modifier, it automatically places it on the other side of the character. Then we can form it in the sculpt mode. Shift A and add a cube. Scale it up to be longer and place it on the arms. Then duplicate it for the forearms. Then shape it again in the sculpt mode. Squeeze and rotate a cube and place it on the chest. Then a mirror modifier for the other side and smooth it out. Just like arms, add a long cube for the legs and duplicate it for the bottom. Then shape the muscles of the legs in the sculpt mode. Add another cube for the feet, then go to bottom view and start shaping it like feet. It's way easier from the bottom. For the hands, we squeeze down a cube. In the top view, we add a few loop cuts, push it backwards and smooth it out, then shape the front part. For the fingers, we're gonna do something really cool. Just make a cube with 2 loop cuts on each side. Duplicate and stack it on top of each other until you have 3. Shape each knuckle to make it look more like actual fingers. Select the full finger and place it where the index finger should be. Now duplicate the whole thing and bring it on the next finger, then rotate it just a bit. Thumb is a bit different, so we bring a cube and shape it a bit bigger and wider than the rest. Now we can bring 2 of the meshes from any finger and place it on the thumb. Add more meshes to the body by duplicating the existing ones and shaping it to be secondary muscles. This way we have way more forms to work with after we're done with the blockout. Now that we have a full blockout male character, we need to merge it together. Then remesh it so all the geometry in every mesh merge together. Then we can start sculpting on it. After remeshing, we can go ahead and sculpt the eye socket and nose, then carve in the mouth. Fill in the eye socket and carve in the middle to create the eyelids. Work more on the elbows, added the muscles of the back by using clay strip brush. Also work more on the muscles of the front leg and knees. Then using clay strip brush, added the details to the muscles and smooth it out by holding shift. Pronounce the eyelids and nostrils, then worked a bit more on the shape of the mouth. Sculpted the big portion of the ears, then fix the shape from front view. Place the spear down right in the eye socket. Again, we move in the edit mode so the pivot point don't change. And we can have it on the other side using just the mirror modifier. Now it's time for the most boring part of the workflow, which is retopology. I explained the whole retopology process 1,000 times on the channel. I fully explained the steps of how to do it really simple for both head and body. After the retopology, we can project it to our old model using shrink wrap modifier while it's on project and negative is enabled. Now if we apply shrink wrap modifier, we'd have a really nice retopologized model. For the clothing, I brought up the clothing sheet for a t-shirt and just extrude a plane to shape it as half of the t-shirt. Then fill it with edge loops by pressing Ctrl R. We're gonna make the clothing using cloth simulation. That's why we need more topology on the clothing for it to fold correctly. Now that we made half of the t-shirt, we can use mirror modifier to create the other side. Then duplicate the same thing for the back side and change it a bit to adjust it with the back one. After that, we place it between the character, created the sleeves and connected them to the t-shirt. After that, we connected front and back together. While in face select mode, select all of the connected parts while in face select mode, then delete only faces. That way, we're left with edges only. Now these edges will sew both sides together. But first let's give the body a collision, then a cloth for the t-shirt, so we begin the process. Enable sewing and self-collision. Then we can press space to start the simulation. I do it few times with different settings to get it closer to what I like. I added the solidify modifier to add some thickness to the clothing. For the shorts, I made a simple plane on one side and mirrored it to the other side, then duplicated for the other side of the body, connected both sides together and removed the faces, and again started the simulation. I forgot the inside parts, so it turned into a skirt, connected the inside to the back and tried again, then moved on to the shin guard. For the shin guard, I don't want to use cloth simulation, because it's a hard object, so I just make a long plane, add a few loop cuts and wrap it around the object. For the socks, we're not going to use simulation either. Instead, we can just enable snapping and extrude around the leg, and since we already made the shin guard, it coats the socks over the shin guard. I brought in a random football shoe reference to Blender, started to model the base from the bottom of the shoe. First extrude around the edges of the shoe, then slowly extrude to the inside, then shape the bottom from the side view according to the shoe reference. Extrude to the top and simply shape it based on that. It's a pretty easy concept. After that, we can go around the model and shape the overall form in the sculpt mode. I extruded a plane for the shoelace and kept duplicating it. Selected the whole thing and duplicate, then reverse it so we have decent looking shoelaces. Back to the head, I start pronouncing the eyelids. Add more details to the lips and work more on the shape of the ear. Then I started sculpting the fingernails. After we're done with the whole thing, it's time to unwrap the UVs. Separated the head by using mark seam. For the head, I selected the line in the middle, then selected another one from the other angle to the ear. Separated the arms and also the legs. Break the body in half by separating it from the bottom and one from the back. We're trying to avoid adding seams where it's too obvious. That's why we do it in the back or bottom, so it appears invisible. Select the edges in the back of the arm, straight to the elbow and hands. Then go ahead and select the size of the fingers. Mark seam and do the same thing to the other hand as well. Then mark seam the inside of the leg. After all that, we can now press A and U, then unwrap the whole thing. I added the UV grid to the material so we can see the UV better. Then we can rearrange the UVs to fit better in the tile. We can also pick up the grab brush, move the UVs or use the relax and pinch tool until they're in a more uniform size. After UVs, we can move on to the texturing. First add an image texture and give it a skin color. This is gonna be our base for the skin. Now we can go to texture painting tab and pick up a warmer color than the rest and start painting over the skin to make it look more alive. I also give it a hint of beard with a dark color brush to make him look cooler. For the clothing, I'm using Blender Kit. It's free, you can simply just download it from the website. Just find the fabric material, drag and drop it on the shirt, and now we have a fabric shirt. I added the hue and saturation node and make the shirt darker. To add some design to it, first I want to determine what the shape of the design will be. So I added another black image texture and start drawing the design with white color. 3 long strips in the front and some on the sleeves and collar. I have a fully explained tutorial about creating the material for this shirt. As always, I put it on top right corner. Now that we have a black and white image texture, we can use mix color node and use this image as the factor. After that, we can change the color of each side from changing the color of A or B. We can also add other stuff like gradient and checker texture. Did the exact same thing for the shorts to add the strips and also for the socks. For the eyebrows, we're gonna go the stylized route, which is placing the plane on the eyebrows and start extruding it to the shape of an eyebrow. Then a solidify modifier for it to be thicker. Then we can simply duplicate a face to bring it on the eyelid and start extruding it alongside of the eye to create the eyelashes. Duplicate to the bottom eyelid and extrude again until it's full. I made it brown so we can see it better. Then edit the eyebrows in the edit mode and separated some parts to make it look more like eyebrows. We can now select the eyes, empty out the center and extrude it to the inside and add some thickness. Then duplicate the whole thing and use it as the other part. After that, it's time to paint the reddish color on the sclera and color the iris as well. I chose to color it blue. I also have a full tutorial on how to create realistic eyes in Blender, so check it out if you're interested. Then add more variety to the color by making some parts darker and some parts lighter. We can also use ready iris images, so you won't have to manually paint it. But if it's a stylized character, you will have to find one in the same style as yours. I assigned the transparent glass to the outer layer of the eye, so we have these nice reflections on the eye. The client wasn't really into these strips on the shirt, so I used their own design as PNG instead of that black and white image we painted earlier. And since we made all of these colors and nodes, we can simply just change the design by changing the factor image. The client also didn't want green as the color for the shirt, so I changed it to yellow from mixed color in every material. They also wanted the full suit to be white, so I changed the primary color to white. For the shoes, I went really simple and just added a gradient between reddish and orange color. To add the team logo to the shirt, I added another principal shader and mixed it with our main shader, added the logo. Then we can use another UV map node and place the logo where we want it. Increase the factor on mix shader to a really high number to mix up these two. This method only works well in Eevee, not cycles. Did the same procedure for the brand name. I placed it in the middle and fixed it in the UV editing tab on a new UV map node so we don't ruin our main UV. Moving on to the hair, add a circle, change it in the edit mode and add some irregularities like this and use it as the main shape for our stylized hair. Now I can place it on the head and start grooming it. To know more about it, you can check out my stylized hair video. I explained all of it in there. After grooming, we can just duplicate it and place it somewhere else and keep doing it until we have a full hairstyle. It's better to have a hairstyle reference on the side. I didn't want the side to be fully flat, so selecting our main character, I go to edit mode and select the faces on the side where the hair grows. Duplicate and separated it and use the gradient as the alpha for the material so it fades out from top to bottom. We can now just rearrange them in the UV tile, so we can bake all of the materials into one big texture. I explained all about the UVs and baking all of the maps in that video right up there. After breaking all of the maps, this is what I ended up with. For the rigging, I use a free app called accurig. I explained the full process in the accurig video. I basically import the character in and it automatically finds the important points. Then it rigs the model in few seconds. And after that, we have some animation to test it out. I brought back the model to Blender, and since we got a full rigged body, we can start posing it right away. I pose it into a happy celebration pose, after a goal or something. Now it's time for lighting. I went really simple. Added the orange light in the back to the left, so it feels a bit of left, and a blue one to the right. Then a bright spotlight in the front. Since it's a stylized character, I added a simple curved mesh to use as teeth. Wouldn't be much of a celebration as if the facial expression is just smiling. So since we didn't rig the face, we need to manually change the expression. I select the map in the edit mode and open it. I don't want to animate it, but you can use shape keys to save the changes you made and maybe animate the expression if you want. Also shape the eyebrows to make the expressions more intense. Now that we opened the mouth, added the tongue, then added a stadium background image, and this is the final results. Hope you find it helpful. Don't forget to download the 3D files and real-time process of making this character and tons of other characters on my Patreon and Gumroad page. See you on the next one. Peace!